time when the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred, and those who had died would walk the earth again. So they lit sacred bonfires and wore costumes to ward off evil, then rekindled the fires in their home hearths from the sacred fire to symbolize a fresh beginning. When Christianity came to Celtic lands, the church adapted, some would say co-opted, these ancient practices to cultivate the new faith. But that ancient seasonal awareness, that sense of being in between light and darkness, is still very much a part of us. In many parts of Latin America, El Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, or sometimes the Days of the Dead. I seem to remember in Ecuador it was multiple days of partying, basically, of various kinds, are marked by taking food to cemeteries to share with the ancestors and other rituals. In the United States, of course, we watch scary movies, still wear costumes, and instead of sharing ritual feasts with our ancestors, we eat lots of candy, as we heard from the kids. That's how you know something is really sacred in our culture. We eat chocolate. I mean, that's the thing. That's the way we mark it. Yet as we look back, but in the church on All Saints' Day, we pause to remember those who went before us, both those who were precious to us and those whose lives burned with the fire of God's love, whose lives became light for us. Yet as we look back to remember them, we are also suddenly aware of those who will come after us and our place in the span of time. As it says in our memorial service, we become conscious of others who have died and aware of the frailty of our own existence on earth. Suddenly, briefly, those who were once with us seem close again. The veil between the spiritual and the material world seems to be torn, and we are open to seeing our lives and our place in the world in a new way. We suddenly see that all we have received, even our very lives, are all gifts, bountiful gifts that come from God and have been passed on to us, have been given to us by those who came before us. In the same instant, we also sense that these gifts are not something we own. That this world, this precious earth, even our own lives are not really our own, but are gifts to be cherished and passed on to those who will come after us. Our remembrance becomes a liminal moment for us, a moment when we are freshly aware of our desire to live in ways that are closer to what God intends for our lives. Lives that are more meaningful to us, more open to beauty, more committed to what is right, more kind toward others, more immersed in God, more spiritual. These are the hours, as O'Connor said, which give a new heart and a new spirit. These are the times, this is the time in which to make a commitment, she said, a commitment which will be lived out in the valleys over long, dry stretches ahead, when the vision is unclear or even gone. But the memory of this moment, the memory of that vision is alive in us nonetheless. Come, O Creator, O immensity of love, O eternity of mercy, come and be with us and in us and beside us and over us. In this sacred hour, help us to remember, to be renewed in spirit, and to be filled with fresh vision for the future of our lives, our life together, and our world.